All right, guys. So in this edition of Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff World, we got to talk about the climate hypocrites, as there's a video going viral of a Spanish climate minister by the name of Teresa Ribera, who got caught riding a bicycle just a few hundred yards from the venue in which there was going to be a eco conference after getting out of a limo in which she flew a private jet into the conference in the first place, right? So she flew a private jet, allegedly, to the conference, and then she took a limo, and just a few hundred yards before getting to the venue, she gets out of the limo and starts to ride a bike for the cameras, right? Which is a page straight out of Mayor Pete's playbook. Take a look. Yeah, so I just want to be clear about what's happening here, or what allegedly happened, because this is alleged. This is reportedly what happened. She took a private jet to the conference, allegedly, got in the car, and just a few hundred yards before getting to the actual venue, she gets out of the car to ride bikes for the cameras. Now, I don't have a video of her actually getting out the car, okay? I wish I did, right? But I don't. I can imagine that she probably didn't bike all the way to the conference. And we know that she did it for the cameras because if you, as you saw on video, and as you can see right here, look at this car behind her, and this guy with his head out the window, with his whole body out the window, half his body out the window, with his phone out for the sole purpose of getting a photo and taking video. And we know that this is an official car because it has blue lights on it, right? So this is a government vehicle, okay? A motorcade leading her to this climate conference, which, by the way, I'm not sure exactly what would be the emissions difference between, this person riding a bike and being in the car, considering how this person could have just got in the car and took the car to the conference. Now, who knows? Okay, riding a bike actually would have created more emissions because the vehicle train had stopped and was idle while she was getting out of the car to get on the bike. So yeah, if you didn't know, idling your vehicle actually emits more emissions than, for example, let's say stopping and restarting or cruising. Okay, so if they just would have cruised, if she just would have cruised to the climate conference and not got out of the car, okay, if she just would have stayed in the vehicle, she would have done more to fight climate change than getting out of the vehicle to take a photo op, right? Again, it's just hilarious, right? This is just so funny to me. It's just so funny how these people are just not serious, right? They're not serious. But apparently, this person flies private all the time. According to Bard, Teresa Ribera used a private jet 17 times in 2022 at a cost of 170,000 euros. She used the jet to travel to a variety of destinations, including Brussels, Paris, and New York. In 2023, Ribera has used a jet 16 times at a cost of 160,000 euros. She has used the jet to travel to a variety of destinations, including Lisbon, Berlin, and Rome. The total cost of Ribera's use of a private jet in 2022 and 2023 is 330,000 euros. This is a significant amount of money, and it has led to renewed calls for Ribera to stop using private jets. No, private jets for her and bikes for you, right? That's what it is, okay? You have to, inconvenience yourself, not have as good as a quality of life while she lectures you on how you need to be doing more, okay, as she flies in her private jet to these fancy climate conferences. Again, this reminds us of what happened with Pete Buttigieg, okay, who also got called out for pulling this same stunt. So as you can see here, this guy took an SUV, it looks like, with a bicycle just to get out a few hundred yards away from his workplace and then ride the bike into his workplace. Again, it's just clown world, bruh. It's straight up clown behavior, right? It's clown behavior. Again, you emitted more emissions by stopping and idling, right? Rather than just riding in the car, right? Just ride the car to where you're going. Again, these people are clowns, bro. It's all just virtue signaling. So yeah, that leads me to the U.S. climate envoy featuring John Kerry, who is known to take private jets everywhere he goes because, again, he's a hypocrite like the rest of these guys. He's in the UK, and he's lecturing King Charles on why they need to accelerate the transition to green energy, okay, and how they need to lower emissions. And also he's lecturing about how the war in Ukraine apparently is a problem for climate change as well too. But of course, just like the Spanish minister, him and Biden, right, are being escorted around in large envoys of fossil fuel burning vehicles.
There's a full understanding here, particularly with the evidence of the last few weeks piling on, that when scientists are telling us that they are terrified by what they're seeing, and when we hear those same scientists telling us that we are in uncharted territory, this group has come together to try to figure out, okay, how do we deploy the funds necessary to invest to create the new clean energy economy. And I'm glad to say you recognize many of the people here in the United States, and Mr. President, you've been with them before. They represent literally trillions of dollars, either invested or of assets under management or assets owned. And they are making decisions every single day about how to accelerate this transition.
Lots of parts of the world are exacerbating the problem right now. But when you have bombs going off and you have damage to septic tanks or to power centers, etc., you have an enormous release of greenhouse gas, of methane, of, all of the family of greenhouse gases. And the result is it's adding to the problem. I'm not, believe me, that's the fight in Ukraine is a fight that we have to make, that the world has to make. The values at stake are enormously important to all of us. So I'm not suggesting by any fashion that this is not a fight we shouldn't be involved in, but I am saying that there are ancillary impacts as a result of it.
Yeah, so apparently this is a big deal. Such a big deal that Vladimir Zelensky brought in Greta Thunberg, who's the leader of No Nation, to discuss climate change and the impact that the war in Ukraine is having on this problem. Take a look.
Hi there, folks. A curious sight on the weekend. In Ukraine's capital of Kiev, President Volodymyr Zelensky took an audience. A famous face was present. Now, we have grown used to this as Hollywood types line up to get their picture with the famous wartime leader, usually to push on their own platforms. This was a new face, and a very well-known one. Environmental activist Greta Thunberg.
Hi. Thank you.
The 19-year-old was there alongside some other prominent European figures who are forming a working group to address ecological damage from the 16-month-old Russian invasion.
Ecocide and environmental destruction is a form of warfare, as Ukrainians by this point know all too well, and so does Russia. And that's why they are deliberately targeting the environment and people's livelihoods and homes, and therefore also destroying lives. Because this is, after all, a matter of people.
Yeah, so why? Right? Why? Again, same question I asked for the photo ops, okay? Why are you riding a bike just a few hundred meters from your job or some climate conference for a photo op when effectively you're not really doing anything? Why? Right? Why? Why is Vladimir Zelensky in the middle of a war, okay, in which his country, you know, again, is facing devastating consequences, right? Particularly in the East. You know, people worried about food, electricity, power, you know, how they're going to survive. Why are you bringing in Greta Thunberg for a conference to talk about climate change when you have people in your country that are literally in a war, right? I don't really understand exactly how you square that, right? But again, I don't understand how you square a lot of this stuff. I don't understand how you square flying private jets all over the place while also lecturing other people about their emissions, right? I don't understand it. But again, a lot of this stuff, it's just empty virtue signaling. Like a lot of woke things, right? When it comes to race, gender, sex, whatever, right? These people come out here, they virtue signal, but they really don't believe in the stuff that they're talking about or that they claim they believe in. They're just doing it for points, okay? They're doing it so that they can get a pat on the back and say, you know, nice job or whatever. And they go back to living their normal lives, right? Again, John Kerry, lecturing people about climate, about emissions, goes back to flying private jets, right? Again, it's just absolutely amazing. We're living in clown world, we really are. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.